Hello, this is King of Review, and we're going to be using the quadratic formula to solve this quadratic equation. So, let's begin by making the quadratic equation nice. Because we still can't apply the quadratic formula. We did a previous problem that was kind of like this, but we actually have to set it equal to 0. So we have to add 2 to both sides. So let's do that. Plus 5. Now we're ready to apply the quadratic formula. So our a value is -1, our b value is -2, and our c value is 5. And the quadratic formula says -b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Alright. Well, -b, negative of -2, that's 2, plus or minus -2 squared, so that's going to be 4, minus 4 times -1, which is going to be a positive 4, times 5, which is going to be positive 20, divided by 2 times a, which is -1, so that's going to be -2. So this turns into 2 plus or minus square root of 24 divided by -2. Now 24, you can take out a 2, right? So if you take out a 2, it's going to say 2 square root 6 over -2. Then you can simplify this. Now be careful, you're dividing by a negative, so you're doing 2 divided by -2, so that's going to give you -1. And then plus or minus, remember, if we divide this by negative, we're going to get a negative plus, but that's exactly the same thing as just plus and minus, so it's going to stay plus and minus root 6. So the answer to this question is going to be C. Now the answer is a little bit different because we simplified it a little bit further, but if you think about it, if you divide this top part by -1, you do end up with this value here. Okay, now let's look at our other answers. Options A says plus or minus 12, but if you plug in -12 or positive 12 into this, you are not going to get a -2. So this is definitely wrong. Option B says 1 plus or minus square root 6. Now this was a good guess, but it forgot about the negative, and that's why this is wrong. Now option D says 1 plus or minus 2 root 6. Well, we saw that if you simplify this equation here, you're going to have to divide 2 from this value and this value. Now, we have to be careful. It's not a scenario where we have 2 times another number. We have 2 plus another number like this. So that's why when we simplify this, we're going to have to divide 2 to this and this, not just one of the numbers like that. So when we're multiplying, yes, you can just take away the 2 from one of the values. But when we're dividing, you have to, when we're dividing an addition problem, you have to simplify this value and this value from 2. So that's why this is wrong. And that's why the answer to this question is C.